What song is that?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, we're back again.
I used a New Kids on the Block song for a reel for the Plex.
Yeah.
Or no, did I use it for? I used it for my YouTube for my my new RC10 that I got. Did you see my new RC10?
Yeah.
I think
Is
sick.
this thing ever been driven?
Nope.
So it is a new RC10.
Well, let me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I got really lucky on that one. So a customer came in, and it was one of those deals where he had got it from somebody else for free, and he wanted to upgrade it. And I'm like, no, sorry, this car is not even being made anymore. I'm like, because at first he goes, do you guys do trade-ins? Do you guys buy stuff? I'm like, no, we really don't. And he's like, oh, I got this RC10, and my ears perked up, and I'm like, well, let me see what you got. So he brought it in, and I'm like, okay. So I made him a deal, and then as I'm looking through the stuff, I open up the tool.
Best deal.
It's the best deal. I opened up the toolbox, and there's brand new front and rear tires in there mounted on wheels. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, this is going to be awesome. So we made the deal, and yeah, dude, that body's in good shape. The car's in good shape. It's got one little, I mean, it was ran, I should say, but it has one little scratch on the bottom of the chassis. It's not an A stamp. So,
oh, okay. Is it stealth then?
Yes. Stealth transmission. It's a championship edition with a stealth tranny.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I've ever had one of those. I've had some gold tubs in the past, and they've all been not very good. And so I've sort of flipped them.
Yeah.
Knowing that one day I'll probably get a better one. So this is definitely one of the better ones. So I'm definitely hanging on to this one. So, and then did you see the other two things I got? The Blackfoot and the Optima?
Yes, I did.
Dude, the Optima's never been driven.
Really?
Never.
Is that the chain drive one?
Yeah, it's brand spanking. I mean, it's mint condition. And I'm not a Kyosho fanboy, but like that car is in such good shape. I'm super happy to have that one.
It was like when I was a kid, all the spoiled rich kids drove a Kyosho car. You know, like their parents were like, no, give us the Japanese import.
And all the dirt bags drove JRX 2s, and then all the regular people drove RC10s.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Well, really like the Kyosho dads, like, no, give us the Japanese import. Mm-hmm. Like super like hoity-toity, like, you know.
Do you know what's incredible though about this RC10? I was showing the boys that were working the last couple of days the car, the differential. Like, you want to talk about quality, like the difference between today's quality control and the quality from back then. The bearings are spinning super free. Those were back in the day, they would have been the expensive bearings that you bought at the hobby store. Instead of these dollar bearings, these would have been $10 a piece bearings back in the day. That's how much they cost. That's how much they used to cost. Bearings used to be expensive. Like to get a bearing kit was a big deal.
Huh.
But the diff,
that car was shipped with bushings, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
The differential, dude. This differential's got to be 30 years old. You could spin it and it feels like it was just built the other day. It's incredible.
The highest quality grease.
It's incredible.
That is pretty cool though. The diff still feels really good because you would think the grease would have dried out and all that.
Yeah. I'll bring it Saturday if you're going to be there. I'll bring it and you can look at it. So
I'm racing some off-road on Saturday, baby.
Yep. Me too.
I got looking at my sprint car, you know. Hey, I like running my sprint car. I don't know if we had a podcast since the last time I raced it, but I won both days. I won at Jensen. I won the next day at the Plex. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. The next day at the Plex.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Sort of. What was that?
Yeah, the cats are knocking stuff over.
Oh.
Like RIP my Nintendo Switch controller, I'm sure.
Great.
But yeah, I don't know if I've been on the show, but this is a Team Velocity sprint car.
Yep.
This is what I've been running. I don't know if we had a show since I built this.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think you had just gotten it done.
Okay. Yeah. So I raced it, and that was okay. So that was the second time I raced it. Got her all dialed in, won both days.
Well,
slicks at both tracks.
I gotta say, so the last podcast we had was at the very end of February, so this is our March edition. We're going once a month unless we can fit another one in. The oval day would have been right after our last podcast, and yeah, I saw that you did good on both Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
track was pretty dialed,
dude. I set a lap record. I ran a 3.6.
Yeah, I'm. I definitely need to find a way next year to just keep the box scraper out. So.
Yeah, dude. If we had that track like all year, like. Nobody would ever have anything to complain about. No, hey, I'm just saying, like, I'm not complaining or nothing. I'm glad we have a place to race. You know, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the whiners won't have anything to whine about since they whine so much.
Hey, you get it from the off-road side too. It is what it is. The track's going to be bumpy for this weekend. The track's going to be really bumpy, but that's our last club race on this track layout. So.
Hell yeah.
What are you going to do?
I guess the new Smootherinos all mounted up. You know, collect the whole set right here. I got some smoothers, and then I got to order some more smoothers for the spring champs because I assume that's what we're gonna run. I don't see why we'd run anything else.
Yeah, I've ran nothing but slicks the last couple club race days, and with the exception of Friday night where the dirt at first is kind of all over the place. The track comes in really quick for slicks. Yeah. So.
But I'm working on getting my B6.4 all tricked out. So I ordered a J Concepts titanium screw kit for this car. So the upper kit. So that'll be badass.
I put one on my Losi car.
The J Concepts one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice.
They're blue. They're like a dark blue. It's cool looking.
I got the black ones.
Yeah.
You know. I got that, and I've had them for a while. The new, or I guess they're not really new anymore, but the 3.5 turnbuckles they put on this car. So I got those. What else do I got? I ordered a new body, so probably won't have it for this weekend, but I'll be running the old Silver Streak here from Hobby Action. I haven't raced this car since Hobby Action.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'll be walk in the door, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm back again."
I'm gonna have both my Losi and Associated car there Saturday. I want to run both of them. So, but I might have those new Vision Racing. So they came out with these new aluminum hubs where you don't have to Dremel the hub in order to make the front end mod work. You still have to Dremel your arms, and you still need to figure out the axle. But
for the Losi?
For the Losi car. So, but they came out with an aluminum caster block, 0 degree, that has all the stuff so it'll fit without dremeling anything. So I think they're in the mail. I think I'm getting them pretty quick here. So I might even have them on my car for Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that.
You know what I have coming in the mail that I'm going to get on Wednesday?
A vibrator?
No.
Oh.
I already have those. We got like a full set, different sizes and different vibrato. One that does like some little sucking and like all kinds of stuff.
Anyways, sorry.
Anyway, I'm a bit of a collector.
That was inappropriate.
Oh, all right. Anyway, so I am the proud owner, I still have them yet, of some Air Jordans.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got Jordans, dude. My Vans are all clapped out. I'm like, you know what? Hard decision, changing brands, going to Jordans. I've worn Vans. I've worn Vans for the last like 15 years, actually longer than that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try out some Jordans.
I wanted Jordans so bad when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But this was 1990, 91, junior high. My mom wouldn't let me have them. Well, first she hated the price of them to begin with. For her, shoes should cost like $20, right?
Yeah.
But my dad, when parents split up, they tend to buy you more stuff.
Oh yeah.
So my dad actually took me to the mall to buy a pair of Nikes, and I bought a pair of Nikes that weren't Jordans, but they were Nike Air, whatever's, and they were like 96.
Air Force Ones?
Maybe they were $96. And I remember my dad about had a heart attack, but he's like, "Well, you're my son," and so he bought them for me anyways. And then, you know what I did to those things? Is I took a pen one day and I drew peace signs all over him.
Oh, I bet your dad shit his pants.
My dad didn't care because he wasn't there, but my
Oh,
mom, she didn't care either because she didn't think that shoes were that big of a deal. But all the other kids were like, "What the hell are you doing? Like those are good shoes." Never did understand the value of that sort of stuff until I got older.
hmm.
But dude, I wanted a pair of Jordans so bad. But kids were kids were getting beaten up at my junior high and having their Jordans stolen from them. So
Yeah.
my
Oh yeah.
mom was adamant against me wearing uh, anything Michael Jordan related. I couldn't even have a shirt.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
I was
I
banned from having a Michael Jordan shirt because my mom didn't want me to get beat up.
yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so I got pumps instead. Remember those Reebok pumps?
Oh yeah.
Yep, I had
Pump
some of
it up.
those.
Just pump it up.
Yep.
Huh.
Anyways, yeah.
Uh,
So Jordan's good job. Nice.
yeah. So kind of moving up in the world, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like what? I don't know if they're real. I mean, they have like all these different tiers of Jordans. I got them from the official Nike website, so I'm sure they're real. But they were $180.
Oh,
And
you'd hope they're real if they're that much.
no, it's I got them from Nike. I got them from Nike, and I was like, oh yeah, $180. And but there's some that are like mad money, like $300, $400.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what's the difference? I'm a
Yeah.
I'm a working man.
Shoes are
I can
big business now. They're like collectible. You
yeah,
know.
dude. Was it Andrew? The guy from Australia at
Yeah.
Reaction, he had a different set of Jordans every day.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And like,
I think I just approved his friend request too.
yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was like, I was like, man, I need some Jordans. Like seeing all his and all the different colors he had every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, J-Ro, he wears Jordans. So I was
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like the official shoe of RC car racing, you know?
Maybe. I still think Vans. I bet you there's more. I bet you there's more RC racers that wear like Vans than
Probably. I used to
Nikes.
be one of them.
Because you don't want to wear your $180 Nike shoes to the track usually.
I'm wearing them.
Well, that's fine,
I'll just
but
buy another pair. Fuck it.
okay.
I have 2 jobs now.
Damn it.
I'm a working man.
Yeah.
I also have bills.
You also have bills. Me too.
Yeah. Like, speaking of working 2 jobs, last Saturday, Mikey and I broke in 5 go-kart engines. Real nice, high quality builds. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some happy customers. It'll be nice. Then we have another run of 5 go-kart engines to put together, and then we have another run of 4 micro sprint engines to build. There, I think there's 1 Yamaha and 2 Suzuki, or 3 Suzuki engines to
Wow.
get built up. So that'll be cool.
That's pretty neat.
Makes me want to buy a micro sprint.
Yeah. I'm already fully invested in one money pit. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Actually multiple.
So I did the looking, and I would probably buy a Hyper. They're making them in Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe they're made in Pennsylvania. Don't hold me to that, but I'd buy a Hyper and build the engine myself. Engler injection. We're looking at $15,000 to $20,000. So I'm thinking I just save my money for a few years, buy a little less Jordans, a little more micro sprint parts. Maybe I could have a car ready in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Pay cash for it, like a true stud.
Yeah.
Maybe get that cash discount. I don't know.
Maybe. What does Chris run? Is Chris running those?
Chris, I don't know. I don't know what he had. I think that micro sprint racing was going to end up being too expensive, and they were going to run a hobby stock instead.
Oh, okay.
My problem is I have a garage that I can fit a micro in real easy, real nice, and I can work on it by myself. I don't have a place to put a hobby stock or a full size sprint car.
Right.
So I could run a midget, micro
Yeah.
sprint, put it in my garage. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's my thought. And I've always liked the feel of micro sprints. I've always would rather have a micro than a full size sprint car. I don't care about running in front of a bunch of people. Like I'd rather have a micro sprint.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I don't, and this is all hypothetical. I don't know if I would do it or not. I thought of a year ago. I thought about buying a full size sprint car and just figuring it out, you know. But I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That would have been like $40,000 to buy everything. Because if I'm gonna buy it, it's gonna be new. I'm gonna go all new. Like when I was a kid racing micros, I never had new stuff. I want new stuff. The other thing is, I think the shocks are like $800 a corner.
Mm.
Like, I know. So you build an engine, the valves are they're $100 a valve, and there's 16 valves, so there's $1,600 in valves in those because they're titanium valves.
Yeah.
So if you put steel valves in it, it won't rev. So you gotta have titanium valves.
Mm.
I don't know.
Mm.
All hypothetical. Haven't even looked into it a whole lot, but just thinking about it, real bad. I haven't even talked to my wife about it. I think that if I did it, like it would just show up, like it'd just be here.
Just be there.
We just have one.
That's pretty funny. So we had So we had oval racing, the finals on Sunday.
Oh, I finished 6th in points, and I only made 3 of the rounds.
Yeah,
So that was pretty cool.
yeah.
I could have gotten 5th, but in the pole dash, I got taken out by a lapper while I was leading.
The day before that was our first day back on dirt, and I had my associated car with me, and boy, I was pretty happy with it. I just crashed too much in the main.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of drove kind of dumb. I think Emerson raced, but I can't remember what he did. It's a club race, so it's not that big of a deal. But we were kind of back, and it was the track was the older version of the Techno Series track, so it was pretty hard. He had that tight turnaround, drop down, jump. Mm-hmm. So nailing that every round was tough. And then that night after you guys were done, I went out there and pulled pipe, and came in the next day and put in kind of a newish layout. And then we had I think we had another Saturday club race on the dirt, Friday and Saturday. And that was the first time running the TLR car. And then the on-road series finished on Sunday. So this time of year at the Plex is just busy, just always busy, you know, the Dirt Oval Series finals. And I'm going to have Tim do this next year too. I did like how the Dirt Oval finished before the Techno Series did. So I could go in and I could make a newish layout for the last one.
Nice.
So I did feel bad that I had to plow over part of the middle of the oval after we got it so good, but it was nice to be able to use the whole track again differently.
Yeah. I on my memories on Facebook, it was like 2012 when I borrowed that car to race Dirt Oval for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it's 2012, and the oval was in the middle of the off-road track.
Mm-hmm.
God, that thing was nice.
It's yeah.
Big. What was the? Why did we change that? Like, what was the big deal? What did they complain about?
Actually, the oval guys were pretty mad at first that we moved it.
Oh, really?
So, what made me move it from where it was up until 2000, the season of 2013 and 14, to where it is now, was the 2013 J Concepts race.
Yeah.
The layout was embarrassing because with the oval, you have such a wide area of track that you can't do anything with.
Right.
And so, and because our track is a slope essentially, right? Or was,
mm-hmm.
You had like a whole 8 feet of space beyond the oval that you really couldn't use because it dropped down to the floor. So in order to be able to see our cars even, you couldn't really do anything there.
Yeah.
And so I have it on video on my Gunter channel, my personal YouTube channel. I have videos from when the oval was there. And we made it work a few times really well, but most of the time it was not good. And so we measured the space and we realized we were giving up a little bit of length. And at first we had given up a little bit of width. They had actually made the oval a lot skinnier than I wanted to have it initially. So over the years, I've sort of widened the oval out on my own to get it to where it is now.
Yeah.
So essentially we have 40 feet there. At one time it was 30 feet.
Right.
So the center was very skinny. I didn't like that. And neither did the oval guys. So on my own, I kind of made it. I kind of looked at where the garage doors were and I'm like, okay, this is where the oval actually needs to be at. So I eventually pushed it out further and to get it to where it is now. And I think, and I've tried to push it lengthwise as far as I can get too, without making the corner super skinny. So, but that was the original thing. It was my, I did it. I mean, it was my idea because it just limited so much what we can do. That's why when I see, not Coyote, is it Coyote or is it? Yeah. Coyote Hobbies. Oh God, I'm blanking on his name.
Davey Bada.
Bada's. When I see the Bada's place and how they installed the oval, I'm like, well, that's cool, but for a little while, because then you're going to run out of, like, you can't that the track layout that they had. If you look at it how it is, they did a really good job of utilizing the space, but there's no jumps over here,
right?
Because you can't do it without messing up the oval. So
like a lot of tracks, like they don't get a new layout every month or a new section every month. You know, that's kind of uncommon. Like you go to Mimi's track, the track, and in Maryland, they get a new layout maybe every year.
Yeah.
Like getting a new layout pretty often is kind of like it is pretty uncommon. I feel like unless you race outdoor and also unless you race at tracks that have big races very often where they have a new layout.
Right. I think that also has a lot to do with the surface. Like, isn't the track like hard as a rock? Like literally,
it's glued.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a glued surface.
But underneath of that surface, isn't it like so hard that you can't, like, it breaks tillers, kind of like our hard surface does?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I thought that was one of the reasons why it was hard to change that layout, because I remember Beachline had the same deal. Their clay was so rigidly hard. When it cured it was almost like concrete.
Oh, really? Huh.
So that was one reason why they went to carpet instead, because they could change the layout more often without all the extra work it took just to break the dirt up.
Well, they were putting VHT on their track, and the locals were running 2.4 wheels and cutting tires and gluing them back together so they were tighter on the insert. So it was like, just unless you did that, like, it wasn't any fun to race there.
Yeah.
I know that was a thing at that place.
Our dirt's kind of like the straightaway would be really hard to till up right now.
Oh yeah.
But and that's why the oval, I don't want to till it up that often because it is kind of set. But if I do what I did, like, I know how to make the oval work. I hear things. I'm not deaf, but I know how to make the oval work. The problem is that it's multiple. It takes a different implement to make it work. So if I don't have the right implement on my tractor, it's a lot of work to get that implement off and get the other implement on and then put the other implement back on again. When I take the tiller off, freaking sucks. The tiller is a pain in the ass to get back on that tractor. So when I have the tiller on, I don't like to take it off.
Right.
But to get the oval to work right, I have to use the box scraper with a bunch of weight on it, and I have to wet the track like crazy and go around it while it's wet. That's how I got it so good. So I know how to do it. It's just if I can get away with not doing that every time, I would like to, but I don't think I will be able to, until one day we figure out how to get the roof to stop dripping.
Yeah. Right.
From the condensation. And it doesn't.
Well,
It's
and,
not leaking. And let's just be clear. I just want to reiterate. It's not a leaky roof. It's condensation from water in the track.
right. Well, and if you got to send me up there to hang some gutters, I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah, I was going to talk to
If
Matt.
I fall, whatever.
It's pretty high up over there. So I was going to talk to Matt. He's not scared of. He's not scared.
It's scared.
Yeah. Speaking of track layouts, a race that Emerson and I were talking about going to this year, but it wasn't going to work out, so we stopped worrying about it. The April Fool's Classic layout, dude, Tom Renner
was phenomenal.
Tom Rennerneck posted some pictures from this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have gone.
Yeah,
it looks sick,
really nice,
so nice. I wish our dirt was like that, because you can see how the tamper is used to pack that. Yeah. And it's just ended up being so smooth, and the elevation changes are cool. The color is cool. They painted it. I mean, it looks really good. So those guys did a phenomenal job.
I looked at photos of that track for at least 20 minutes today.
I know. Me too.
I was like,
I was like, yeah. It is good. It's going to be really cool. So I'm going to look forward to seeing that on the live stream stuff for this coming weekend. The Techno series, we're going to talk about that a little bit. So the finals came. I was able to get a new track layout in. I think it ended up being pretty good. I had a couple of people come up and say that it was probably the best one all year, which makes me feel really good. So that's kind of what I was going for. And it is, again, when you can open up the dirt oval more and not have to be limited on what you can do with it, it does make a difference. So it's a pretty decent 10 scale layout too. It's a little bumpy still. But like I said, this will be the last club race before we come back to club race on the Pro Tech race layout. So we only got to live with it for one more week. And tomorrow I'm going in. I'm gonna get my dirt and tamp a bunch of stuff and make it smoother in some spots. And some of the spots that got kind of beat up at the Techno Series race, I'm gonna fix, so we're good to go for this weekend. But Mason Fuller took buggy and e-buggy again. Unfortunately, Seth and Jared weren't there, so he kind of won by default. So he hadn't locked it up because they missed a round. So it was going to be open, but with those two not being there, it was kind of a no-brainer. That being said, Caden did really well, and I think he led most of, if not most, maybe half of the Nitro Buggy main. So he was going really fast. Caden's really fast again too, so that was pretty awesome. Sounds like they're going to do some 10 scale with us, with the Hot Buddies cars. So
that'd be cool.
Yep. Looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure they're going to be at the Pro Tech race.
Nice.
Yeah. Then just going off of memory, TJ Williams won Sportsman Nitro. And I believe that'll be the last time you see him with any other car than Associated. So
nice.
Caden Berding won Truggy, Mini Truggy, but they weren't there because they were at the I got the hiccups.
No.
They were at the Ryan Hodgson Memorial Race in Sioux City. But he had already taken enough points in Mini Truggy to take the win in that one. Logan Prismanis won E-Truggy. So for the first year that we had E-Truggy, Logan took that. Nitro Truggy. Who won that one? Dude, I forgot. Like I said, I'm going off of memory. I'm gonna look real fast. So
okay.
This is gonna take a second. Nitro Truggy. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, that's right. Nitro Truggy was Brandon Carney.
Oh, yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah. Yep. And then Connor Herrick won Sportsman Nitro. So we had Mason is multiple winner, 2-time. He might be 3-time now, actually. I don't know. I'll have to think about it because I'm going to have to go back and look because I can't remember. But anyways, Mason Fuller was just going really fast again this weekend. Although, like I said, his brother had his number in Nitro for a little bit, but it ended up working out. But yeah, so Logan, the inaugural Truggy champ, Brandon Carney, Nitro Truggy, Mason Fuller e-buggy and Nitro buggy, Connor Herrick, Sportsman Nitro, and TJ Williams, Sportsman Electric, and then Caden Bairding, Mini Truggy. So we'll see what happens next year. I'm still trying to I am thinking I might make the Techno series online sign up only.
Really?
And limiting the number of entries.
Why is that?
I don't like being there till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But it's a catch-22 because it's so popular and people seem to be okay with it. I mean, there's some people that aren't, and I think they just don't come, which, okay, I'm actually, that's fine.
You're like, I get it.
I totally get it. So it's like, but at the same time, it would be nice to be done at 11 instead of 12:30 or 12:40 or whatever it is.
Right.
So I'm going to think about it for a while, and I'm thinking of putting a 200 entry limit on it. And that leaves us a little bit of leeway, because you're always going to get one or two people that are like, "Oh, I didn't know. I don't get on Facebook." You know, you're always going to have one or two of those guys. So
that's what I'd say if I didn't sign up. And
yeah, I know, right?
I'd be like, I don't have Facebook.
And then pit space is rough, you know. I've had, especially round 4, we didn't run out of pit space, but it felt like we did. I had a few people that were taking up too much space, and I had a few people that were moving names without permission. You know, that was kind of a struggle. So
yeah, oh, it always is.
I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I said I was going to do it last year and I didn't, or this year and I didn't do it. And every round, except for the first one and the last one, every round we had like 230 plus for entries.
Wow.
But then again, I mean, we were done. I think the latest we ever got done was 1246 or something like that. Just off the top of my head. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about it some more. I'll make a decision at some point. When I make a decision, that'll be the decision. So,
yeah. Whatever you decide, I support you. You know, no big deal.
Yeah. So Techno Series was great. It was a big deal. I think the competition was really close again. Having Jared and Seth and Mason all together here again for most of the rounds just provides us with a pretty neat atmosphere.
Right.
You know, everybody's out there to watch the Nitro main, you know, no matter how cold it is. Like, it's just, everybody's out there. And it also was nice this year too, where I finally got our live stream kind of figured out again. So instead of doing it from my phone by hand, I got it actually up on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch it whenever you want. Really happy with that. Just the backup of the data, you know, the lifetime backup, I didn't have any problems this year with that. Just seemed like we had a problem with sound once, like the indoor PA finally quit after 20 years, and we got a new one. So one round, you know, the inside sound was a little weird, but once we got it fixed, you know, it's fixed. So it is kind of a stress reliever to have that one over with. I do get kind of hyped up like my brain doesn't allow me to sleep very well the nights before those. I try to go to sleep Friday night, and a lot of times I have really big trouble sleeping, you know, just because I want everything to go well. I don't want there to be any problems. I don't want there to be any fights. I don't want there to be any drama, you know, and again, we're pretty lucky this year. We really didn't have any. So So I was pretty happy with that too. And then, so this weekend we had the Tamiya Championship Series, and so if you go back, so if you're watching this now or watching this later, it doesn't really matter. If you go back and look in our playlist here on the Hobbyplex Show YouTube channel and look up builds, like car builds or whatever, I did a TA07RR a couple of years ago, and I used that car to race in the TCS race that was happening that month. And I won GT2 when I raced with it, and it's actually Tim Skapansky's car officially. He owns it, but he hadn't built it, so I took it and I built it, and then I raced it. And then that car got passed around. I think Alex Vanderbeek raced a TCS race with it, and he TQ'd maybe last year's, because I think in 2020, I think ours got canceled. So it might have been, I think it was 2019 when I built it and raced it, and then 2020 was canceled. And then I think in 21 and 22, it was driven by other people. And then this year, Tim like gave it to me. He's like, here, you can have this. And if you want to race it at the TCS race, you just got to fix it. So I got the parts. Don Drews actually fixed it for me because I didn't have time.
That's
so
nice of him.
Yeah, super nice of him. He wanted to copy but he wanted to copy my setup too. So, so he's like, I'll build it. Can I just I'll build it, and then I can look over your car and take your setup. Right. So, it was so funny. So Don fixed it for me, and then I went out there and practiced on Wednesday, and I raced with USGT just because it's the same motor, even though it's not the same motor. It's the same size motor, whatever.
Yeah.
And I broke that car like 4 times.
What'd you break? C-hubs?
Yes. So here's the deal. No, hold up. This is, I figured it out, and I didn't break it again. So this is what happened. So the 2020, not the C-hubs, the spindles.
Oh.
So the TRF 2020 spindles, or 420 spindles, sorry, the 420 car.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. They should be green. The spindles they're 2-piece. So you've got the spindle block, and then you have the trailing arm, and they screw down on one another. So they're just like our B6.4 or whatever, but they're not made of carbon fiber. They're plastic, and they interlock, right? I barely touched. I was out there for 1.5 laps, and I barely touched a pipe. And I'm talking, I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. I barely touched it, and it broke. And I looked at it, I'm like, what the heck? So I went and I fixed it, went out again, couple laps later, barely touched the pipe, just turned a little too early, broken car. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I fixed it, and in the main event on Wednesday night, like halfway through, I'm in 3rd place. I knew lap times weren't going to be there because I'm racing against the gravity motor and X-rays and Awesomatics cars. So I'm not really worried about where I finished. I just wanted to practice. And again, he set up 2 chicanes. The second chicane coming on the straightaway, same thing. Barely touched it, and it broke. So I totally understand why Tim was really frustrated with this car.
Yeah,
because
cross-side and it breaks.
Dude, exactly. So what I did was I went upstairs and I'm looking. I'm like, there's got to be a different spindle you can use, right? So the 2000, I keep saying 2000. The 419 car or the 418 car, whatever it is, the older spindles. They're 1 piece. So I bought them, and I took them downstairs, and I compared them to the same thing. The holes are in the exact same place. They're just 1 piece instead of 2. So I put them on, never broke it after that. And I hit a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
test it out.
So that cured it. So I was pretty happy with that. And I raced GT2, and unfortunately there was there was 10 cars, but by the main day, I think there was only 9 or 8. But I TQ'd in one GT2. My lap times and my pace I would have won GT1.
That's what happened to me the year I ran the TCS.
So I think I wanted to race something so I could race the Nats when we have it in September.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for September I'm going to put a 17.5 in that car and race GT1.
Why can't you just race both?
Well, funny you mentioned that. So
I know this, but I asked anyway.
yeah. So funny you should mention that. So I was looking through the rules because I'm like, they have rules on sponsorships and stuff. And here's the deal. Like I said, I haven't been an all-out sponsored guy since 2017. That was the last year I ran for TLR.
Mm-hmm.
The only sponsorship I kept was J Concepts. Well, the rules they're not vague, but it says, I thought it was chassis sponsorship where you couldn't run some of the classes,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't say that.
Oh, what's it say?
It just says sponsored.
Yeah.
But it says free product.
Uh-huh.
So that's different though. So I think that I think that the regionals we've been kind of lax because like Vanderbeek ran GT2.
Yeah.
You know, and Kenny races the TCS race. Riley ran Mini. Mitchell ran GT2 with me. He's sponsored by AKA and Mugen.
Yeah, but are they getting free stuff?
No. That's it though. That's just it, right? So so I think in order to quash any sort of controversy at the Nats, I'm not saying I'm going to do awesome with the Nats, but just to compete, I should race GT1 because GT1 is the only class where it says everybody but professional drivers can race. They don't allow any professionals. So if I was a paid guy, obviously I wouldn't even race.
Yeah, right.
But I have one sponsorship and it's not necessarily free product either. So it's not, I don't know. I don't know how that would be clarified in the rules. I would, now that I looked at it, I probably wouldn't be allowed to race GT2.
Right.
But I like racing GT2 because I like the 21.5 motor. I don't like running super fast with touring car. I break shit.
What?
I don't. I hate it. I used to race mod. I hated racing mod because you'd break stuff all the time. I hate breaking stuff.
I think the cars get easier to drive the faster they go.
You think so?
For me, they do. When I was younger and racing touring cars, like I just throw a 10.5 or an 8.5 in my touring cars. Like, why can't we race mod touring car here? Like, oh, nobody can drive it. You're gonna break stuff. And like, I'd never break anything. Like in that 10 scale pan car that we ran with the Enduro.
Yeah.
Like, I tested that car with a 6.5 in it and 2-cell. And I was like, why can't we race this? Oh, it's too fast. You're gonna break stuff. You can't go that fast. Like, I'd go fast. Like, I'd have no problems with a 6.5 in a 10 scale pan car. And
we used to race mod on that tiny little track in Lincoln.
Yeah.
That was awesome for that little, it was a triangular track behind East Park.
Oh, that's where I grew up racing.
Yeah. We used to race mod there. I mean, it's not like it can't be done. I mean, 17.5 is not mod. I'm just saying if I can put down the times with the 17.5 motor that I was putting down with a 21.5 motor, but maybe just pick up, half a tenth of a second per lap because of the straightaway speed, I think I'll be all right.
Yeah. You can't go that fast. It's too fast.
Whatever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a 17.5 in it. I'm going to put a 17.5 in it and I'm going to go practice with it. And I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to end up doing.
Yeah, you can go fast.
But I would just want to say, if anybody wants to talk crap about me racing this weekend, all somebody had to do was say, you should be we're going to move you to GT1. I would have raced it because I was a lap faster. It wouldn't have bothered me, but nobody said anything.
Well, see,
I didn't quite understand. The way I understood the rules was a chassis sponsorship. I didn't think that it was like any sponsorship. So
I wanted to race GT1 with my GT2 car that one year, and Tim told me I had to have a 13.5 motor in my car. Like, I would have had to change the motor every time. Like, that's the rule. It has to be 13.5.
It has to be?
That's the way he told me 10 years ago. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, I was curious about that. I was curious about that too, because wouldn't it be a motor limit?
It's not, it's the motor.
Well, okay.
It sounds like, and I just didn't want to buy another motor.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, same here. I didn't want to have to dick around with that. Again,
at least that's what I was told
I
then. But
I
there was
like
guys like complaining about the body I had on my car.
I like
At
racing
that-
USGT. I think it's fun. That's why I wanted to race the 21.5 because I could show up on a Wednesday night with the same car and just race it.
Yeah.
You know, and just for practice mode, just to make sure I have everything dialed in right. So
Right.
we'll see. That car works really good. I mean, when it's not broken,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I think it was just those spindles. So
Yeah. There was guys giving me a hard time about the body I had in my car. I was like, dude, Tim gave me this body and said it was legal.
right.
Like I borrowed a body just so I could run this race.
Yeah. Well,
It's like I ran an Acura NSX body back.
that's what I have.
Yeah. That body's the shit. That body's awesome.
I had it on my X-Ray USGT car, and I put it on. I just happened to have found it in the back. Actually, Mark Borgatti, one of our guys, found it. He's like, "This is yours, right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." Like I totally forgot I had that here. So I looked it up, and I put it on it. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, this will work out great." So I made it fit, and that was that. And it had my paint scheme, so that made me feel even better because it was like my car.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Yeah, those guys were like,
it's one of the best.
It's fine, you want, but it's okay. You know?
We had one of the best regional races, I think, ever for the TCS. We had 91 entries.
Yeah.
So
I can't. It's like it wasn't something Brown. It was another guy, the guy that finished like third that year. That was a real big whiny pants about the body I had on my car.
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. So I ran the TCS race 2 years in a row. I ran it in 2011 and 2012. In 2011, there's a guy running like the front wheel drive car. I don't even know if they race that class anymore. Remember that front wheel drive?
Yeah, the FF cars. Yeah.
Yeah. He was running that car. So this is 2011. This guy, I don't remember where he's from. He had an accent. He was like, "Yo, can I borrow a gear?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a gear you can borrow." And so I gave him a gear, and it was like I don't remember what pinion gear it was. It's huge. It's a huge pinion gear. And he was like, oh, "Okay, is this mine now?" I said, "No, I want that back." I said, "No, I want that back. Like, give it back to me after this weekend or whatever." He's like, "Okay." And so he never gave it back to me. The next year, I was like, "Hey, do you have my pinion gear you borrowed from me last year?" Yeah, I was pissed about that.
Yeah.
I specifically told you could not have that gear.
Yeah. And I'm not, dude, everybody there this weekend, just don't get me wrong. If you're watching this and you're like, wow, Alex is, I'm just saying the sponsorship thing seemed kind of weird to me. When I reread the rules, I kind of went, oh crap, maybe I should have ran GT1, but, I'm not crapping on any of the TCS people. Everybody was super nice. And
yeah, I don't even know if that guy races anymore.
People were asking me about my setup on my car, and I'm an open book. I'll tell you exactly what I did, you know, and why I think I got my car working pretty darn good, and more people get it to work that well for them. That's great. So I was telling people what I remembered. The problem is I built that car in 2019, and I don't think it's been messed with since. So I don't remember the rear diff oil. I think I remember parts of it. I'm pretty sure I know the shock oil. I know for a fact what was in the front diff. You know, there's stuff that I knew I remembered on how to get that car to work so good. So I was telling people everything I knew. And again, I'm not crapping on anybody. I just for the nationals, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up in GT1 because I just don't want there to be any sort of chatter.
Yeah.
Because I think the regionals, it was like a big club race to me. That's what it felt like.
Right.
But the national finals, that's totally different.
Yeah.
So, would be cool to get one of those cool trophies though that they make.
Wait, did you win a kit?
Yeah.
What kit did you win?
TTO2.
Ooh, very nice.
With a Subaru body on it. I think I'm gonna give it to Emerson.
Ah, why can't I have it?
Because Emerson needs to get his grades up, and I'm using it as a club to get his grades up.
Well, if Emerson doesn't get his grades up, tell him Uncle Will's gonna get it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm serious. I want that car if Emerson doesn't get his grades up.
Well, I'd race it. Shoot, I'd race it in pro spec or whatever they call it. If I was allowed to, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, not allowed.
No,
That's
not
fine.
allowed.
Let's get
Damn
a
it.
little.
Yeah, damn it. So
Why can't I just have it? I never get anything.
I hardly ever win anything like that. Like the one
yeah.
year I won TTO2 last time, I won that comical Avante, and somebody offered me like $200 for it, and I'm like, dude, I never really win anything cool like this, so I'm keeping it. You know. So then it's still at my house. It's still up on the wall.
Did you ever open it?
Nope, it's unopened.
Cool.
I'm never gonna open that one. I don't have any reason to. It wouldn't be something that would interest me in building and driving.
But see, like, why do they got to give you a TTO2? Why can't they give you one of those cool, like, Tamiya, like, four-wheel drive F1 cars or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
I don't know.
What did the winner of GT1
Well,
get?
one year, everybody got a CC01 Bronco. I would have rather had that.
Yeah. What the winner of GT1 win?
Same car, TTO2 Subaru thing. Everybody got the same car.
See, like the year I ran it, the winner of GT1 got like a GT1. It was like what is it, like the 412 or whatever they were on?
Yeah.
They won like a Tatty Waddy's like touring car. You know? So
well, they had a
F1, like they won like the top of the line F1 car.
They did have a new version of a TTO1. I'm sorry, gosh darn it, a TTO2 something, as just a generic giveaway for the raffle.
Oh, that's nice of them.
So that was pretty cool. But then according to the rules, you couldn't run that car. You had to like take some stuff off of it and change it out or whatever.
Oh, it came with non-sanctuary upgrades or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to go through here, there was some really good races. I tried to watch most of them, but because I had to work too, so I was both Saturday and Sunday. I was fortunate enough we weren't crazy busy when my races were up, so I was able to skip out. But then I had to take my car back upstairs, take the battery out, put it on the charger, have my car sit there ready to go. When it was like 3 races until my race, I sauced the tires, put the battery in, then hope that like 40 people didn't walk through the door right before my race, so I could go down there and do it.
Yeah.
But I did get to watch some of these races, and I actually was marshaling this one, so because this was right after ours. So Daniel Sprancy won F1. Him and Vishal Singh had 3 really good main events. Daniel won one, Vishal won one, and I think it came down to the last one. And there was some elbows out action with F1 cars in that last main for sure. But Daniel ended up pulling away. Daniel's got a really cool kid. He's really into Star Wars. He bought a couple Bandai models throughout the weekend. So that was pretty cool because I got to talk about stuff that I like too with them.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat. Euro Truck, I didn't get a chance to watch very much because by the time they were up, I was already back upstairs. But Vishal Singh won that one, and then Dennis Reardon was second, and David Weir was third. I think I got to watch a qualifier too, and it was pretty clear who the top guys were time wise. Pro Spec was the biggest class of the weekend. I think there was like 30 cars. So this is TTO2s that are like, they got all the good stuff on them. And Charlie Lydon came up from Kansas City to win, and Tim got second. Tim's car looked really good. And then Mark Haynes finished third. Ronnie was actually fourth. That was pretty cool. And then the rest of the main, just because it's on here, Bob Foster, Shane Menenti, Eric Jarman, and Mark Brigatti all had theirs up there. That was pretty neat.
Very nice.
GT1, there was only 5 cars. Daniel Sprancy took that one as well. Mark Haynes was second. Chris Olesen was third. Jim Hungate, Michael O'Grady finished out the top 5. And GT2 was me. Mitchell Pavel was second. First main event, I had a horrible start. I drove like a donkey through the first half of the lap, and I caught a dot, and my car was going up on 2 wheels, and I had to check. And when I checked, Mitchell came and
does what Mitchell does.
He didn't run into me. He just we scrubbed, and then we both ended up almost parked into we were almost parked into we both parked each other into the pipe, and we were lucky enough to both get away before the rest of the cars came up, because I think Chris Olison, I think, was right behind us, and got away, won the first one. The second main, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing that again. So we had a good start. We had to actually have a restart, so I had to do it twice, but I got away, and then I just kind of made sure not to hit anything. David Weir ended up third. That's TCS is kind of David's thing. David's kid Nathan usually comes and is super fast, but he just had a baby. So
oh really?
Yeah, so no TCS for Nathan this time around, but we'll probably see him next time. Chris Olison, Don Drews, and Jim Starr made the A main in the GT2 GTE. This is a really cool car. It's they're like the electric Formula One cars.
Mm-hmm.
They have that same body style, inboard suspension and everything too. Dennis Reardon took this one. His car's really fast. Bob Foster was second. Mitchell Pavel should have won this one, but he ran into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
David Weir, Tom Quidensly, Mark Ebner, and Andy Wallace. And then in Mini, this was a really good one too. It came down to the last main. Riley Filbert qualified second, but got the win. He won A main number 1, got second in A main number 2, and then won A main number 3. Charlie Lydon was the TQ, finished second. Daniel Ho, who always comes up, I believe, for our TCS races, finished third. Then it was Dennis Reardon, Don Drews, Jim Starr, Jeffrey Stevens, and then Kenny ended up 8th. And I think there was two heats of Mini too, pretty sure. So really good turnout. Just a good turnout in general for the TCS. It was really nice to see, because there's been years where we've had the TCS race and Tim's been kind of disappointed in the turnout, but I think it's gotten a lot better, a lot more popular.
He was happy this year?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Super happy.
That's good.
So we had plenty of giveaways, and the entries are free, so that's good. And I don't know, just works out really well. Plus 91 entries. I mean, that's a lot. 92. That's almost 100. I don't think we've ever had 100 before, so we're really close. So nice. Yeah. Did you catch any of the No Name podcast interview with the Roar Prez?
No, the new one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. How's that going?
Sounds like it's going pretty good. So Clayton Young took over as comp director after me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to confess that he emailed me way back then, and I was still kind of like, I don't want anything to do with Roar anymore. So I never emailed him back.
Yeah.
And I feel kind of bad now, because listening to him now, the first interview he had back when he was a candidate and the interview now where he's the president, I kind of feel bad that I didn't email him back some of the info about the comp director job. But, things.
Yeah.
But,
are they going to have bumps at electric races?
I don't know about that, but they're going to have a new person.
I don't care.
Yeah, they're going to have a new person running the RMT.
Oh, instead of who? Bob?
Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Jeff's fine. I've always got along great with Jeff.
Yeah, so they took a vote of no confidence.
What, with Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
So Jeff Parker is not part of Roar at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's news.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal, actually.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
that kind of sucks.
Some of the,
like Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that works out, because there's a lot of the RMT, being the head of RMT. There was a lot of responsibility. You had to find people to fill the slots that you needed, that you trusted.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of equipment to move around.
Yeah.
And a lot of money had to be spent on travel and on shipping, just there's a lot to it. So,
yeah,
but I think it's going to be handled pretty well. with this new president. So
Who's going to be the head of RMT now?
it's Tim Caparel.
Okay.
Tim C. He's in my phone as Tim C.
Okay. I know Tim.
Yeah, he's been the race director for Roar races in the past. He just wasn't the head of RMT.
Huh.
So now he's the head of RMT, I believe.
So a vote of no confidence. Does that mean like everybody voted and they like we don't have any confidence in this guy? Is that what that means?
So you know how I know you're not a Star Wars guy, but you know in the
something.
But you know in the Phantom Menace, do you know what I'm talking about? The movie Phantom Menace.
Something. Yeah.
Okay.
The one with the pod racing.
The one with the pod racing.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Palpatine came. Emperor Palpatine came into power as Chancellor Palpatine because they had forced a vote of no confidence in the current Chancellor.
Huh.
That's how that happened. So it's kind of like that. So, anyways, I don't know. I like Jeff too. I just I will say that again, if you've watched this show and you've heard me talk about my experience at Roar and why I quit, was that a lot of times at these national events that I was a part of, a decision would need to be made, and there was a lot of how do I put this nicely? Pussyfoot. There was a lot of hemming and hawing about what the right decision is, and then when that decision would get made, and a whole bunch of, when I say a whole bunch, I mean like one or two racers would come up and say, "Hey, that's the wrong decision. You need to do it this way and this way." They would retract the first decision and go with the second decision, which would piss off a whole new group of people that would come up and say, "Hey, this is the wrong decision. You need to do it this way."
Yeah.
So it's like my biggest qualm at some of the races that I was a part of where a decision needed to be made was just make the damn decision and stick to it.
Right.
Instead of going back on it. Because as an announcer, like when I was announcing races and I would have to announce the decision over the microphone to all these people that are waiting on your decision to know, what time you're going to show up tomorrow. How many are we going to do an extra qualifier? Are we going to make up a rain race or something like that? You would announce that and then 20 minutes later have to announce something different because they changed their mind already. That's a problem.
Yeah, right.
So,
well, and I never dealt with them on that level.
So Clayton, this Clayton seems like he's the kind of person that will make a decision, and unless it's egregiously wrong, he'll stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds good. That sounds like a positive.
Right.
So it's a good listen. I mean, it's a really good listen. It's their latest podcast, and
I can't listen to podcasts at work anymore. We can't have headphones. Or phone can't be out. Like nothing. No fun.
No fun. But here's the thing: you can. I hope. Don't take this the wrong way, but you can skip past most of the podcast and just get to the Clayton Young part if you want to. It's on YouTube.
Right. No, I get that.
And it's only like an hour. I listened to it before we came here.
That's when all my no-naming would get done is at work, and I haven't. Hey, I listen to other podcasts. The Matt and was it? I can't think of it. Shane Gillis and Matt something have their own podcast. I've been listening to that one. That was really funny. And then I'll listen to some conspiracy ones and maybe a Rogan here and there, and ours. I always listen to ours for the quality, see what the quality's like. And then by the time I do that, I listen to Kill Tony, then back around to Monday and gotta listen to them all again. And
yeah.
No
most
kind of
most of the ones that I listen to, I do when I got the headphones on, I'm working on the track.
Right.
It's just a way for me to focus. Helps me focus when I'm trying to build something or do something or clean something.
Oh yeah.
That's why I like Tuesdays. Working last Tuesday sucked because there was stuff I wanted to do downstairs, but Tim was cleaning downstairs for the TCS race, so I didn't mind it as much, but I did have to work in the store. But Tuesdays are nice because I can just come in and put on my headphones and get the shop vac out. I can clean, and then I can go out to the track with my headphones on and do what I need to do out there and patch up holes or fix a jump or something like that and clean out there, I guess. That's why I like doing that. Just whenever you see me with my headphones on, I love when people like, I can see them out of the corner of my eye asking me a question and I can't hear a word they're saying because my headphones are on. So I'm sure I seem like a dick, but
You're like,
so I'll have to pause it and then take my headphones off and go, what's up? And then, go from there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You want to hear something funny?
Of course. Always.
Okay. I had 2 firsts this week at the store.
Really?
Yes. One of them I posted on Facebook and one of them I didn't. But I'll tell you the one that I didn't because it's really funny.
Okay.
And I hope the person who said this, if you remember that you said this, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not crapping on you either. It's just I've never heard this before. This goes in the list of variable ways that you can say car manufacturers. You ready? Ready for this one?
This is my favorite part of this show.
Okay, I've never heard this before.
Hold on. Let me get ready. Okay, I'm ready.
I got asked for a Jacepticon body.
That's a new one.
Jacepticon. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to hashtag it.
What?
I want to hashtag it. I want to make that a J Concepts hashtag.
Yeah, Jacepticon.
Jacepticon, like Transformers.
Yeah. Did they actually think that's what it said?
I don't know, man. The dude said it 3 times.
Man, I get there's all these oval guys that I race with now, and they say JC Concepts, and I'm like, dude, it's J Concepts, bro. And like, I don't know what JC Concepts is. I know what J Concepts is, but it's J Concepts. Like, it's not JC Concepts. Like, I correct him every time. Oh my god. Like, you give me JC Concepts tires. J Concepts. J Concept parts.
There's only one C.
Yeah.
One C. Yeah.
Remember when we were in Texas and that Mike's at was it Mike?
It was Mike's RC.
Yeah, I know, but the guy, what I can't think. Anyway,
the Traxxas guy?
No,
not that Mike.
No.
Oh,
I'm thinking of Mike, the guy that owned the track.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Never mind.
He had stencils. He had stencils made that said JC Concepts on them.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, like for fun because it was funny.
Oh, that's so funny.
See if anybody noticed. Yeah,
that's really funny.
Yeah, it's J Concepts. JC Concepts.
Jacepticon. Come on. That's really funny. I was, dude, I heard that and I almost burst out laughing, but I was like, oh, I can't do that.
When I was a kid, I remember saying Futaba instead of Futaba.
See, I say Futaba now just to be ironic.
Yeah.
Like I caught myself pulling out of a receiver. This guy was asking about Futaba receivers and I said, well, this is Futaba right here. And he looked at me funny. I'm like, it's Futaba. I understand that, but people call it Futaba. So I call it Futaba too. Cause I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I was being ironic. God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's Futaba.
It's Futaba. So that's a first.
Yeah.
Second first was, I've been waiting to talk about this all week too. So I think it's Tuesday. And again, I don't normally work on Tuesdays as I don't normally work on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Usually if I'm working on Monday or Tuesday, it's because I'm going to travel somewhere. So I'm really looking forward to the weekend anyways. This one wasn't it. It wasn't it. I just had to work because Tim was busy with TCS.
Oh yeah. All
right.
I'm listening.
So these guys walk in and, even one of them even says, hey man, I've seen you on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Thanks. That's awesome. And so I get over the computer and I'm doing orders, trying to get this order done.
Hopefully they're listening.
Yeah. Hopefully they're listening. That's why I don't want to trying to be too political with this, but anyways, so
we have no sponsors.
Yeah. We don't have any sponsors. It doesn't really matter. So anyways, so I'm doing orders and this older gentleman that was with him comes over and he had already asked if our Traxxas magazines were free. And I'm like, yep, totally free. He grabs 2 Reese's peanut butter cup packages. Okay. I got to clarify this because I think people didn't understand what I was saying on my post. I'm not talking about 2 individual peanut butter cups. I'm talking about 2 Reese's 2 Reese's packages. 1 package of Reese's, another package of Reese's. Okay, grabs 2 of them, puts them on the counter, and I go, is that it? And he goes, yeah, that's it. So I ring him up, I type in candy, I change the quantity to 2. I go, that'll be $3. This gentleman proceeds to take $2 out of his wallet, puts it down on the counter. I pick it up. I go, $1 more. And he's like, what? I'm like, it's $3. You gave me 2. He takes the Reese's. He grabs his money back. He takes the Reese's and he kind of like, he doesn't throw them at me, but he kind of tosses it down on the counter. He's like, that's bullshit. You can keep them. I ain't paying $3 for those. And I'm like, what? They're $1. They're $1.50 a piece. Like, go to the gas station. They're more. Like, we're not even doing any. Like, this isn't even like a bad price for a package of Reese's.
Yeah.
So,
I could get if you said $5.
Yeah, right. If they were $2.50 a piece, that's way too expensive for regular packages. That's what you pay for a.
That's like what you pay for king size. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, not anymore. Now they're $3. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I know this because I know this. I don't know why I know this. I went and looked. I had to go look. I actually had to go look because I was like, what the hell? So anyways, so I'm sitting here, I'm kind of like stunned. I'm like, okay. And so I take the Reese's and I put them in the basket. Again, I'm just watching this guy, and he walks over to these other 2 gentlemen, and he says loud enough for me to hear, he's like, can you believe if that blankety blank was going to charge me for 2 Reese's? And I'm like, normally I wouldn't even have said anything, but I like stood up and I'm like, dude, like out of all the things in this store to complain about for pricing, you're complaining about $1.50 a package Reese's? And I don't even think he heard me. The old guy, I don't even think he noticed what I was doing, but the other dude, the young dude that was with him, saw me and did hear me. And he goes, hey man, cut him some slack. He's old. I'm like, okay, I can live with that as long as you don't call me an a-hole for just ringing you up for $1.50 a piece Reese's. Like, go to the gas station, dude. They're more expensive. Like, we're not even price gouging here. We should be charging more.
It would have been funny if you put like two pennies on the counter. He's like,
it would have. So anyways, that also made my Tuesday not so fun because I was pissed. Like, why call me a name? Like, why call me a name? Like, I don't get it.
No, I get it.
Like, I wasn't even rude to the guy.
Right.
And that's like, I haven't been openly, purposely rude to a customer, like to a general customer in a really long time. Like I've screwed around with some people. Like Jason Prismanis came in, Logan's dad, the other day.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said something to him that in my head, I was like, well, I can come across as kind of being a dick, but it was Jason. So I didn't really worry about it because we banter back and forth anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But regular customers, I feel I've done a really good job of faking it. Even if I'm not having a good day and I'm not enjoying the conversation, I feel like I've done a pretty good job of faking it.
Oh yeah.
Because most of the time,
you definitely fake it pretty well with me. You know?
Most of the time I'm cool. I'm like, most of the time I'll sit there and chat about RC stuff all day long. But if somebody comes in and says that their car's doing 220 miles an hour, I'm like, oh, that's pretty awesome, dude. Man, that's sick. Yeah.
I'll race you right now.
But in my head, I'm going, no, it's not, dude. You don't impress me at all.
Do you remember that guy that used to come in and he'd be like, man, I went up my mom's attic and you wouldn't believe it. There was 5 brand new RC10s right in the box. Remember that guy? And Jamie'd be like, bring him to the track tomorrow or tonight even. I'll buy them all for you. I'll buy them all. What do you want? I will give you $1 million for all. He's like,
I remember.
You wouldn't believe it.
I remember he supposedly had 2 5Ts.
Yeah.
$1,500 cars.
Baja 5Ts.
You're just in your head. You're just like, no, you don't.
Yeah, Jamie's like, bring him to the track. I'll buy him from you right now.
Oh,
You wouldn't believe it. 5 brand new RC10s, new in the box. You know.
oh yeah.
What in my mom's attic? There's like he'd say he had guns and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's they're always in his mom's attic, and Jamie'd be like, "Dude, I'm gonna come and like rob everything out of your mom's attic." You wouldn't believe it. Pretty funny.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody who really doesn't come around anymore.
Yeah, that guy's a clown. I hope he's listening. He's like sitting there with like 10 brand new RC10s, like, huh. Yeah.
I'm gonna we're both gonna get Facebook messages.
Yeah, right.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, no, it's not. Good bring you back 50. There's 90 miles an hour. God dang. These ball cups are tight.
So anyway, yeah, I got yelled at over Reese's peanut butter cups. That was wonderful.
I can think of worse things to get yelled at over.
No, I know. It's just
You believe what that guy's selling? It's more like, more like, you believe what that guy's selling Reese's peanut butter cups for? Take that, guy.
Yeah. Tyler Keel on my Facebook, he said you should have taken one and smashed it with a fist and said, "Here, this one's on me."
See, the funny thing
I'm not
Tyler
that.
Might have done. Tyler probably would have done that.
I know, and I'm not that snappy at when those moments come. I don't think that way. I just get insulted.
Mm-hmm.
So I did go. I don't think it mattered, but Kip was there, and he kind of saw me like irritated, like
Kermit the Frog, where his mouth's like this, like.
Yeah. Yeah. And
wait, it's like this. Did that look good? Was that good?
That was pretty good. Yeah,
look on the YouTube channel to see the puppet I made.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
No, but before I left, I went to go get something to eat, and I was like, I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'm gonna complain about how much it costs. And then I left. And I went through our camera system to find that moment to see if it actually picked me up, because you can see me storm into the back and just sort of stewing, because I had for a minute I felt like punching something, and then I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna go get something to eat. So then I said that, and I was hoping that the blink cameras got it, but it didn't get it. I was really bummed out.
No.
I know.
Did you see the look on that guy's face when you said that, or like, I'm gonna go somewhere and complain about everything?
Again, the old guy, I don't think he even realized that I was mad or upset. The young guy saw me, and he turned around and made eye contact with me before I left. But the old guy, I don't even think he even realized anything was going on.
He's just like, good, stupid.
It wasn't even that.
What did he think they should cost?
That's what I wanted to know. So I had to go and look. So when I left, I stopped by Casey's real quick. I walked inside. I went over to him. Casey's is selling the same thing for $2.19.
It's an American. You should raise the prices.
Yeah, we should. They should be $2. Anyways.
Yeah, go get them at Casey's.
Yeah, go get them at Casey's. And I'm sure there's cheaper. Like, what's his name was on my thing, and he's like, well, Big Lots or whatever has them for $1.39. I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah, but they're probably from they're probably like 1984 Olympic surplus or something. Yeah. Wait, what did Big Lots have them for?
Like $1.39, I think is what he said.
39.
So 11 cents. Ooh, 11 cents cheaper.
Cruise. Yeah.
11 cents cheaper. Whatever. it's a round number. It's $1.50.
Probably extremely expired. And nowhere near to the high quality standards that we have at the Plex for snacks.
Yeah. Dude, we
Hey.
saw a lot of snacks too.
Speaking of snacks,
Yeah, go for it.
Saturday, are we having hot dogs?
I don't think so.
God, I haven't had a Saturday hot dog in like 3 years.
The new ones?
No, I haven't had the new one at all.
The new ones are huge.
But yeah, that's what I hear. I hear they're a great deal at a high quality value, but I haven't had one. What days do we have hot dogs?
Basically like bigger events.
Oh.
So this weekend, I think
we have Saturday hot dogs every Saturday.
We'll definitely have them at the Pro Tech race. I think at every Summer Series race. I'm not sure about club racing though. So maybe. But yeah, no, they smell wonderful when you're working upstairs all day.
Yeah.
In the steamer.
Oh yeah. I remember. It's been years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Are we caught up with March?
On what?
With March? Is that pretty much it?
We gotta be. We covered the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Did we ever talk about the Desert Classic?
No.
Did you watch it at all?
Nah.
No. They had the misters working.
Really? That's good.
Mm-hmm. I could tell just from the look of the track.
It was better.
I wouldn't say better, it was darker. The dirt was a tiny bit darker. Because of it.
Right, better.
Because it was getting misted. And then I read that traction levels were like at an all-time insane high, and there was
pretty much just our track on a club, right?
There was some people that couldn't quite get the hang of it, I guess. Because it was just I guess not different, but just different enough. Like there was more grip than usual is what I read.
Yeah, they probably had to make their car heavier, and they didn't know what to do.
Did you see? I know this is 3 weeks old, but I haven't talked about it at all with you at all. But Mayfield was running a TLR 4-wheel drive and a B64 2-wheel drive.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Not in the main.
Oh, really? A 4-wheel or 2-wheel?
4-wheel. Huh. There was a quite a big difference in who was and wasn't in the mains.
Yeah.
At that one. Which,
honestly, like Mayfield can kind of pick and choose what chassis he runs for 10 scale. Like I don't blame him for running whatever he wants.
Well, I mean that combo right there, that's what I run on it.
Yeah.
That's what I would choose to run.
Right.
I was just surprised about the 4-wheel drive not being in the main.
No.
But yeah. I didn't really watch qualifiers, so I don't know what happened, but that just surprised me a little bit. What else? Gosh darn it. I'm looking it up. And then, did you see Tom Rinderneck sweep the mod classes at this last weekend's JBRL?
I did.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that stuff was flying. That
track looked pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
That Rain Man's track, it's from what I understand where it's at, it's kind of you can kind of look at the 4 main tracks that the LA area kind of has now, and I think that one's pretty far to the west, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to talk on my butt, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's Jason Snyder's home track, I think.
Oh, I think it is, yeah.
So, what else did we miss? Was there any other races? Desert Classic, and then did you watch any of the carpet? The first the J Concepts carpet series?
I haven't had time. I kept up with the coverage, but I didn't have time to actually watch any of the races.
Well, Dakota's back on top of mod and 4-wheel at that one.
Yeah.
That track's really neat. How they put it together with the white dots and the barriers. They use big dots and small dots for the barrier. Like they don't. So it looks like you're less likely to run into stuff.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
So I thought that was really neat. I've been trying to go back and watch the mains, but Gretchen just changed our TV stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really weird thing to complain about, but our channel changer remote doesn't fast forward YouTube fast enough.
Oh.
So to fast forward to the races that I want to watch, it would literally, I'd have to sit there and hit do this like 1,000 times to get it to fast forward 10 seconds a piece to the race that I want to get, where instead of you just holding it down and having it fast forward, our remote doesn't do that. So I haven't watched it because of that reason. I had to work all weekend. So I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and go like this for forever.
Interesting.
Yeah. Right. It's a stupid thing to complain about, but it's true. One thing about the hobby action race too, like, Dakota had a rough go of it too.
Oh, really?
Which is just bizarre because usually the higher traction, I think the better Dakota does.
Yeah.
But I wonder, it makes me wonder, you can just have an off day or an off weekend. You could be at a place that you generally don't do well at, period. Or also they could have been trying some stuff in race conditions, you know? But I would think that you'd want to try stuff at the warm-up race and not really the Hobby Action Desert Classic.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't have any insider information. I just things that are popping into my head. I mean, there's certain places we all go to that we just don't do well at either.
Right.
I saw that Brendan Schimmel race mod.
Oh, that's good.
Made the main at both classes. In both classes. Orlowski was really the only real European that I saw do well there, and made the main. But other than that, I mean, Spencer Rivkin, it's his home track. He's supposed to win. And Brock Champlin was up there again. Remember when we were there?
Yeah.
It was him and Brock pretty much for 1 and 2. So
yeah.
Yep. We'll see. The world leading up to the world, it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be fun.
Right.
So there's that. You want to go through comments? Is that
sure.
it? All right, let's go through comments. All right, we'll start at the top. We got Steve RC in here, Nick Nuthouse, Anthony Santee, John Haas, Nate Will. Nate Will has been making smoking ribs and chicken drums, and feeding me, and basically feeding me.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to keep doing that because those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
So big shout out, especially this last batch. The ribs were phenomenal. So I don't know. Nate's been feeding me.
That's pretty cool.
The ribs have been really good, dude. Like really good.
Well, if he shows up on a Saturday for Electric 10 scale, I will have a pile of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Steve RC wanted to know if that's a new Associated shirt.
It is. It is the new one. Yeah.
The new one.
The new one.
John wanted to know which Nikes you actually got. Do you know?
They're like blue and gray Jordans.
Okay.
They're like $180.
Okay.
Those ones, the $180 ones. That's what I got.
John Haas says that he got his stolen from his high school. His football locker freshman year.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. Why would you want to wear somebody else's shoes? I just it's gross.
Status.
What? Like took your shoes?
Well, John and I are the same age. I mean, if you walked into junior high or high school with Jordans on,
mm-hmm.
you raised a notch up on the status level of the hierarchy of.
What do you do? Just go steal them back? Come in with a nice long bar to hit.
Yeah. Wouldn't you think that if you stole shoes and you didn't want to get caught, you couldn't wear them to school?
Yeah, that's what I do. I just steal them back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got there was this time in junior high school. I shouldn't tell the story on the podcast. There's this there's this big fat guy. His name was Travis, and he threw an ice ball at me. I was riding my bike home, like just minding my own business by myself, riding my bike, and he got hit in the face with an ice ball. Like it was like this time of year too, and I was like, you know what? Going home, and I found my dad's biggest wrench. It was about probably this long. It was like inch and a half wrench, big one.
Yeah.
Big wrench. Rode my bike back to school. And he had his back turned towards me, and I swung to hit him in the back of his calf with it. And somebody said something, and I started coming at him like I was going to hit him with it. And 2 or 3 other guys held me back, and I didn't hit him.
Oh.
But that was the crazy Will that used to be.
If I could go back in time, there's a dude in Miss Foster Steen's social studies class that if I could go back in time and tell myself what to do, I would go back in time and tell myself to pick up a desk and throw it at this kid.
Yeah.
Because the consequences wouldn't have mattered more than the status of throwing a desk at this kid.
I guarantee, like, if his mom would have come to school, I was like, "Hey, he threw an ice ball at me. You ever been hit by an ice ball?" And
yeah.
I hit him with a wrench. Like, fair is fair, and I just would have went home. Like, talk to my dad.
Like knowing now as going through the entire OPS school system, I might not even have been expelled. I don't know. Yeah. But it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered.
There's a handful of people that remember old Will, like from probably like 15 years ago. Totally different. Yeah. I'm mild-mannered, like Superman, like like I can just go into that phone booth and turn on crazy Wild Will whenever I want. But I'm very mild. I used to be Wild Willie, now I'm Mild Willie,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, I used to get angry.
Well, I mean, look who you're talking to.
Oh, you've seen me angry.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen me like crazy angry before.
Maybe once, but I can't remember when. But when you said that, I have a vision of you being really mad, but I can't exactly remember when. So
yeah.
Here's an actual RC question. Do you use a sway bar with your truck on dirt?
No, absolutely not. I hate the sway bar. I hate it on dirt, on truck.
You're right.
I absolutely hate it. Why? Who's asking?
Steve, RC.
No,
they're getting his truck ready.
Putting the sway bar on it makes it easier to drive, but it's not as fast.
Yeah.
But
going back to the shoes, John Haas said a buddy of his has an entire wall of Jordans in his basement, about $40,000.
Who said that?
Dollars worth. John Haas said a buddy of his has $40,000 worth of Jordan stuff, and he won't wear any of it. I mean, we all have. I mean, look how crazy my car collection's getting already.
Yeah.
I keep saying I'm done, and then I keep having cars land in my lap.
Yeah.
Anthony says that he's had some videos pop up on his Facebook of people that collect Nikes, and there's so many different kind of expensive.
I just want to be involved.
Any hobbies that way.
Yeah. I'll probably just get another set when these wear out, but like I'm just not like.
It's another one of those things where if you bought a pair of Nike Air Jordans in 1989 or whatever, mm-hmm. and just didn't open them or use them, and they were in your mom's closet, and then one day you're over at your mom's house and you're like, oh yeah, and you pull these out. You
wouldn't believe it,
dude. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. But here's a pair of brand new Nike Jordans.
I have a pair of red satin Air Force Ones around here somewhere. Remember I used to wear those all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have those still. Those are probably worth some money because those were like original Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
Like Scott got them for me at a secondhand store somewhere. They were like new.
Steve RC says the current track is much better for 1/10. They've been practicing. Jackson Anderson's on here saying what's up,
nice.
And that PMB is this weekend. I assume he's going.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Good luck, buddy.
Logan Prismanis is going as well, and I think Steve Wall is going.
Nice.
Nick Nuthouse says, shout out to Steve Wall and Nate Will for trying to get me up and running with a loaner nitro buggy. Got a few laps. It was fun to try. Nick was at the Winter Series. He also says, if you don't want to run late in the day, just be like me and be in the D&E mains. You can get out of there really quick. Are we going to assign pit spots for Pro Tech? No, we won't need to. There won't be enough people. That race right now looks to be about 220 or so for entries. So not really that worried about it. Ronnie Went was on here. He wanted to get some TCS love or the On-Road Series love. I mentioned the On-Road Series.
Nice.
I didn't mention the winners because I don't know, but I suppose I could have looked it up. But we did talk about the Tamai Championship Series. So, Demonic Wolf 69, which I think is Chris Nelson.
I think so. Yeah.
Said that there was some drama, but it was freaking stupid. So just some.
What?
I guess I marshaled one guy and I didn't grab him, and he got butthurt because he wrecked and I didn't marshal him because I went to the help in the back double. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, the old hurting butt, you know.
Yeah. Ronnie Went does say in the spirit of TCS, it needs to be regular Joes. So you can see what I'm saying. I think for the regional event that we just had, I don't think it was that big of a deal, but I think for sure I'm going to race GT1 next time with the same car. I looked at the rules. You can run the plastic tub char if you want to.
So what if, like, on sheer principle, you're like, all right, I'm not sponsored by anybody anymore. I renounce everything. Like, then what? Like, you know what I mean? What if you're just, like, really good, like, local guy? Like, I don't get that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I know. Filbert was on here. He's like, TCS guys complain about anything. And then
Riley Filbert complains about everything.
Hold on. And then Ronnie said X-ray guys complain about anything.
No, Riley complains about anything. Take that, sucker!
Bill's on here. The Smoking Rat said, hope you're doing well. Had fun coming down and watching. He agrees with the roar stuff I was talking about. You need to stand behind what you decide and not flip flop. JC Concepts, he thinks that's funny.
Yeah, nice.
Jake Conrad's on here saying hi.
Hi.
Haley's on here, Jason Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Will's story sounds like the first Fast and Furious story about Dom's dad.
Which story?
I don't know.
The wrench one?
Oh, yeah, maybe the wrench one. Yeah.
Oh,
that must have been new because I didn't see that.
Nice.
Alex, have you talked about that fresh new buggy from this weekend yet? Fresh new buggy from this weekend? Oh, the associated car I did. It's pretty awesome. John Haas, I'm bringing chili dogs Saturday. You want one, Will?
Who is?
John Haas, chili dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Homemade chili.
Chili dogs outside the Tasty Freeze, no problem.
Yeah. And last one, because we're running long again, because we're doing this once a month now. So
hey.
Clover Patch Farm says channel changer. That's how I say it. My wife was in the kitchen and heard. I said, "You hear that?" She said, "Yeah, I told you so." Ha ha ha. Well, I'm old, so it's still a channel changer to me.
We finally got our clicker to work, you know.
Or clicker, yeah, clicker's another one.
Where's the clicker, mother?
Where's the clicker? Where's the damn channel changer? That's when I come home at night, I'm like, where in the hell is the channel changer at?
Clicker.
Must be a Iowa, Nebraska thing. Maybe.
But for RC guys, that could mean two things.
Yeah.
The clicker.
That's right. I almost said something out loud, but
yeah, I actually was like when I said that. I mean, three things.
People are gonna be watching. What does he mean? I'm like, I'm not gonna say because
nope.
it's still there for several sites. So
we'll see. Like I know this because you're just like, yeah, that's my thing for this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's totally my thing.
Okay, that's it. That's it for now. We'll figure out when we do April.
Okay.
So it won't be next week, and because that's the first Monday officially, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah. And then so the ProTech race is the 22nd through the 24th. The track build is the 10th through the 14th.
Nice. Can I bring my camper up for the spring chance?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'll probably bring it. Campers unite out in the parking lot. We'll have a shanty town.
Exactly.
Probably me by myself, whatever. Like last time.
Yeah, at least to be our security guard. Kind of.
But yeah, I'll probably bring my camper up. I don't know. Why the heck not? It's easier. God, that's easy.
Yeah,
that's
it is.
Nice. That is nice.
I wish I had a camper.
That is nice.
I'd go camping everywhere.
You can stay with me if you want.
That'd be weird.
Why?
Because I live 5 minutes from there.
Oh. We just have a sleepover.
That'd be fine.
Or you can just like drink with me out in the parking lot.
Yeah, for a little while. That's fine. I got some Michelob Ultra at home. I'm gonna go home and
hell yeah,
have one before bed. So
yeah, the old Mickey Ultras.
All right, we better go.
All
right. Yeah, thanks, dude. This will be fun. I'll see you again in about I'll see you again this weekend, but we'll be back on here for the podcast sometime in April. We'll let you know. Just make sure you like the Hobbyplex Show podcast and YouTube channel Facebook page for updates when we're going to be on. Or you can subscribe and like right now, hit the bell or whatever you need to do to get the ding whenever we're on too. And we'll
subscribe, and Patreon us some money. So
we can
do weekly again.
The Patreon's really important because now it actually does matter because we're paying for this out of our own pockets. So the once a month thing seems to be working right now. That's all we can afford. So
yeah, I got to work 2 jobs. I'm working 2 jobs right now.
Yeah.
Try to get the podcast going here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's it.
All right.
All right. I'll see you.
Yep. See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.